Then next, it's like, okay, where else has that person gone out?
Public health officials in North Idaho hard at work after the first confirmed measles case in the region in more than 3 decades. What they are saying tonight. The aftermath of a plane crash caught on camera in Kalispell. What we know about how the people on board are doing tonight.
We're hot again tomorrow, but when you add wind to it, we're talking extreme fire danger.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for the KREM 2 Night Report. I'm Mark Hanrahan. Let's kick things off tonight by getting straight to the forecast. We were under yet another KREM 2 weather impact alert today for our scorching temperatures. Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo standing by in the Outdoor Weather Center. And Jeremy, it sounds like the big concern tomorrow is the potential for wind.
Yeah, Mark, where everybody's hot tomorrow and you add wind to it, and it's not a good story here. So today, it was all about the heat. Tomorrow, about the fire danger. We currently still sit in the 80s here in Spokane. We're finding some cooler air off to the north, 60s in Deer Park and Sandpoint. And get this, our heat advisories have now expired. Far cry from where we were earlier today, but tomorrow we are hot, dry, and windy. Wind will gust to near 35 miles per hour across the region, and that means red flag warnings. Red flag warnings are in place from the National Weather Service during the day for our wind gusts up near 35 miles per hour and temperatures back in the 90s across the region. This will be one of the most extreme fire danger days we have seen so far this year. Reason being, we have just dried out all those grasses, bushes, trees. Everything is a lot drier than it was the last time we were this hot, dry, and windy. So tomorrow, one to watch. We're under that weather impact alert for it. Back in the 80s, low 80s come Thursday, 70s by Friday as some much needed rain returns to the forecast. Mark?
All right, sounds good. Jeremy will check back in with you later in the show. Firefighters in Spokane County took care of a one-acre fire on Valley Chapel Road this afternoon. Spokane County Fire District 8 and DNR put a wet line around nearby structures. According to District 8, crews then put a hand line in for full containment. 4 small fires started early this morning along the Centennial Trail are under investigation by the Spokane Valley Fire Department. Just before 2 o'clock this morning, firefighters responded to a call at the Miraboo Trailhead. They eventually found 4 small fire starts along the Centennial Trail, and because of the suspicious nature of those fires, the Spokane County Sheriff's Office was called in, and deputies patrolled the area by car, bike, and by drone. All those fires were quickly contained, and there was no damage to structures or any injuries. But if you have any information about the fires, you are asked to call Crime Check at that number right there at the bottom of your screen. New today, the Kootenai County Sheriff has identified the victim from yesterday's homicide near Hayden Lake as 35-year-old Kenneth Caldero of Kootenai County. Deputies say a person called 911 yesterday afternoon and reported he found Caldero injured on his property and blood on the front porch of his home. Police say Caldero had traumatic injuries and died at the scene. Authorities say they searched the property for additional victims and a suspect, but did not find anything. It's not clear exactly how Caldero died. The investigation continues tonight. And now to our Night Beat with a quick look at today's top stories. Another victory for Idaho Republicans tonight. The 9th Circuit Court of Appeals upheld Idaho's abortion law. The Satanic Temples sued, claiming unwanted pregnancies were tantamount to imprisonment and that they violated property rights under the 5th Amendment. A federal district court had dismissed the lawsuit, saying the organization did not have the right to file the suit. The appeals court ruling upholds that lower court ruling. All right, take a look at some of the money, drugs, guns, and explosives recently found during a search of a North Spokane home. On August 6, Spokane Police's Special Investigations Unit served that warrant in the 2600 block of North Freya. They say they found more than $250,000, as well as a foreign military hand grenade and a training bomblet that was once part of a cluster bomb. Also, more than 60 guns. They also seized a pound of fentanyl powder and 5 pounds of methamphetamines. Police say criminal charges are in the works, but tonight there's no word on how many people are facing those charges. Well, just some wild video right here. It's hard to tell beyond that smoke right there, but that's actually the Kalispell Airport a few hours north of Missoula. Yesterday, a small plane crashed into another parked plane while trying to land at the airport. There were 4 people on board, but luckily all of them were able to get out safely. Only 2 of them ended up with minor injuries. The FAA is now investigating. And that's it for your Night Beat. For more information on any of these stories, just head to our website. That's KREM.com. Tonight, a Spokane-based nonprofit that helps public schools across eastern Washington is asking the community for help as back-to-school season is right around the corner. KREM 2's Connor McAvoy shows us the difficult decisions being made.
Deborah Robb opens up boxes of supplies going to several public schools just a couple of weeks before the start of the academic year. She works for communities and schools of northeastern Washington. The nonprofit helps different schools with supplies and underprivileged families. She says the need is greater this year due to higher prices.
Things like pencils, crayons, and markers are more expensive, and we've reduced our overall supplies that we typically order to accommodate for the lack of donations that we've received. She
says 24 packs of pencils are up by $2. The price of a 24-pack of crayons last year is now the price of an 8-pack this year, and packs of markers are up by 50 cents. Those increases, among others, are forcing the group to make some tough decisions.
We really have to figure out what are the most important tools that kids need for school.
Right now, she says that means prioritizing items like cleaning supplies for the classrooms and backpacks for underprivileged students, while having to leave out items like highlighters and rulers. And starting this year, Robb says the nonprofit's expanding its services in Stevens, Ferry, Lincoln, Adams, and Whitman counties as well. That's roughly 5,000 more students they're serving. Despite higher prices, Robb says the work needs to be done.
The rural counties have high needs as well, and they have fewer resources than the students and families in Spokane have.
Despite the financial challenges, she says they're not stopping the organization from giving their all to help families in need. She encourages anyone who can donate to do so and says a little goes a long way.
We know how to stretch a dollar, so if you give us $20, we're going to get quite a few supplies with that $20.
Connor McAvoy, KREM 2 News.
Are going to have their backpacks filled with that $20.
One fundraising campaign the group is a part of is the KREM 2 Tools to Schools campaign that is running through September 1st. And our very own Laura Papetti will have more soon about other ways you can donate. All right, don't go to bed yet. Glaciers around the globe are disappearing. The reason why and what it could mean for Oregon's future coming up. But first, it's been 30 years since a case of the measles was documented in North Idaho. Now public health officials are working to contact people who may have been exposed. Details in 90 seconds.